Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as Rorix, and I'm joined, as always, by friends and co-hosts.
Rowan, you might know me as Mocha. My arm is starting to itch already. This is getting kind of annoying. And I'm joined by...
This is Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Unova.
It's been like 2 days.
It's been 2 days. It's going to get worse over time.
Yeah, you're in for a rough time, friend.
The itchy is gonna...
The itch is supposed to get worse. Well, yeah, I got my first tattoo over the weekend, and yeah, it's
the itching is a good sign, though. You wanted to itch.
Yeah, well, it's already happening, and it says you got to. They have these like plastic bandages that hold on to it. So
skin stuff.
Yeah, it's apparently really good compared to what it like when my wife had hers. It was just like Saran wrap.
Did you say this is your first tattoo?
Yeah.
Why did I think you had tattoos before?
Ashton has a ton, maybe that I don't know, but yeah, I when she did
wrap, usually take that off like the first night.
Replace that, yeah. But this will like hold on for 3 days, and it just turns into this gross like balloon of ink and blood. Like
yeah, no, it's pretty. It can gnarly. Do that.
Just keep some like A&D ointment, or depends on what you got. They got that tattoo stuff too.
Is Aquaphor good for it? It's either really good or really bad. I forget which one it is, so don't take my word for it.
Aquaphor is fine. I usually just use regular A&D ointment. For all mine is what I use.
Yeah, my wife recently got a tattoo. Same thing with the weird like whatever that skin thing is.
Yeah,
but hers did not balloon up.
It's just at the bottom, like you can see it. Like,
you can kind of see. Yeah, not really.
You can see it's wrinkling. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it looks pretty gross right now for our audio viewers.
Yes, for those of you who are just listening, you can go onto Rowan's Twitter thing and see pictures of
before it started oozing.
Yeah, fresh tattoo, so it still looks nice and pretty and not oozy. Anyway, what's
on a less oozy topic,
how y'all doing?
Doing good. Reg G is fun. I'm having fun playing. It's actually kind of frustrating that the first regional hasn't happened yet, because I feel like everything I'm doing has like a big asterisk, like this is probably going to be garbage when good people start playing. Like it's just kind of what I'm throwing at the wall right now.
So I am excited to talk about that for the main topic. If y'all haven't figured out from the title of this episode, is going to be Regulation G. And kind of some initial first thoughts on it.
We've given some first thoughts already, but we've had time to really play a good bit. At least I have, and I know Sheldon's been doing it for longer than me. I don't know about you.
I was gonna ask. Yeah. I need help. I was gonna. So
have you been trying it? Like
no.
Okay.
No. That's why I need help doing it. So my I guess we'll just jump right into it. Screw small talk. So my what's the goal for myself is by the end of like the weekend coming up, I will have done a couple of games, a couple of teams, right? Like, I want to try Kyogre because Kyogre's my boy. I want to try Groudon because I want to see how that plays out. And I want to try Turtle, right? Because I think... So my theory going into this, and this can spark the first bit of discussion here, is in this time, right? It's like Reg F dead to us. Unless you're doing locals, which I was debating doing for Florida.
I'm probably going to go to a doubleheader this weekend.
Is y'all's this weekend?
It's literally the last weekend that it could be. Yeah, it's very okay. Why couldn't they just wait a week? Anyway, it is what it is. I'm probably just like, if I'm trying to decide if I want to look up another team or just literally bring my Orlando team as is.
Just bring the Orlando team. Don't even worry about that. Like just kind of ease into it. It'll be great.
If it goes badly, then whatever.
Yeah, the team performed well. You already have all your matchups. You put out your document online. Yeah, everyone knows what you bring in.
Everyone knows all my EVs and everything, and all my game plans even. So there's that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's either it's a good test for how many people read your stuff.
Hopefully not many.
Yeah, it depends on how you feel about that. I know Carolina did theirs. They pushed back their doubleheader, right?
Yeah, they pushed it back.
Talking to Discord. Yeah.
It would have been nice.
And then Florida had one this past weekend, I think. I don't know if it's doubleheader or just a PC. They had something, and I was debating going, and then I forgot entirely. I just didn't even think about it.
That weekend rolls around, and then you're like, oh, other stuff. I'm not having to worry about work.
Yeah, like that's actually, that's exactly what happened. When we get to another video game, that's exactly what happened to me this weekend. It was fantastic. But yeah, so Reg G is in its infancy right now. Y'all have been playing it. And to offer thoughts on what you just kind of said, Rowan, of like, hey, is this even worth doing? Everything I'm doing has a big asterisk to it. Like, but there's still benefit to it because you're getting to play ladder games on Showdown Best of 3 with restricted. So you're getting
you are just kind
feel
of
for it.
you get into the mindset of playing towards this one giant win con. Like I feel like there is, it's a little less flexible than Reg F, where you would like had but hopefully multiple win cons, or like you had to identify specifically which one. Whereas this one is like you either are playing to have your restricted win, or you're playing around your opponent's restricted. Like it's always going to be one or the other. It's like I really prefer double restricted formats for that reason. It's just almost one dimensional in this way.
It turns it more into chess, but like one restricted, it's like just a battle cruiser.
Very much protect the queen. Yeah.
Or it's kind of like feels like you're
like that.
Kind of feels like you're playing like Colossal.
It also creates a good deal of matchup roulette because restricteds counter other restricteds to some degree. Some do anyway, and you only get one. So you normally would choose a second restricted to cover the weaknesses of your first one. Kyogre helps Zacian with its with its fire weakness and so on, right? And like Lunala gives Trick Room to Groudon, but if it's just like, okay, you chose Calyrex Shadow and your opponent chose the normal turtle, then like good luck. I hope you have like really good counters for the restricted, like non-restricted counters for that restricted.
Yeah, so is it with what y'all have been seeing so far team wise, and we can go into like specifics in a bit. Like, have you seen a lot of like centralizing around one of the restricteds that just has the least amount of counters or the most coverage?
It's all about Calyrex Shadow and what you so like Calyrex Shadow is I call this, I mean, not that it takes a great amount of intelligence to do so. Everybody called this like it is public enemy number 1. It is the Dondozo of regulation A. It is the Combine Bolt of regulation F. It is like the Urshifu Tornadus of regulation D. Like
you need to have a plan.
Yeah, you either play this or you play to counter this. We'll get into this in a little bit, but there was a big online tournament. I thought it was Victory Row, but it's not. I don't actually know who held it, but Wolfie won, of course, with it was a tournament where the grand prize was looks like there's 92 people who played. It was a pretty, I think it ended up being smaller than people thought it was going to be because it ended up being a hefty entrance fee, specifically because the prize was a flight to Honolulu.
Okay.
But anyway, all that to say, Wolfie won with a pretty standard Calyrex Shadow team. The tech choice being Clefairy, but I'm not even sure I'd say that's that crazy. But yeah, the thing is just so strong. It exerts an absurd amount of pressure right off the bat. Terra makes it even stronger. You can like Wolfie just ran Terra Ghost and Focus Sash, so yes, it dies to a Sucker Punch, but no, it doesn't because it's a Sash. And like if you go Terra Ghost, that's effectively a free choice specs even, or at least a life orb. It's just absolutely nuts. But you know, it has its typing's not amazing except it can Terra. Like at least its typing's not amazing defensively. So it's you play to beat that thing.
So I've spent the last 45 seconds looking into who ran this tournament. I guess it's just this group called E-Parrots.
Yeah, I think that's it. I remember that rings a bell.
And like I was looking like to see if there's anything I know about them that I don't. But they have a Discord that's linked on the tournament page, and the entrance fee was what, 25
bucks, I think,
it's 20 pounds.
Which is it's not that like $25. Yeah, so like it's not that expensive, but it's enough that it makes people think twice about paying
Just
for an online Pokemon tournament. Yeah. I think a lot of people played literally because they knew Wolf was entering and they wanted to like, I'll play against online celebrity kind of thing. But yeah, it was cool to see the meta. I think it was it showed a lot of it showed which restricteds were kind of overrated and which ones were definitely underrated. What I thought was really cool. Toller and someone else on who's a younger player, Darts. They both ran the same Rayquaza squad and did really well with it. And I was kind of thinking that Rayquaza had potential, and now we can actually talk about it because their teams are public on this thing. It's actually pretty cool because it has what Dragonite always wanted, which is Swords Dance and a good flying stab.
Yep.
The downside being that it doesn't have inner focus, but like you run Clear Amulet on it, so no Intimidate, and their team has Farigiraf, so you can get around Fake Out as well. And yeah, if you have +2 Terra Normal E speed coming off of base 150 attack, and you throw that next to Chen Pao sometimes, like pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And Terra Normal means you're immune to Calyrex Shadow, so a lot of things are going Terra Normal now defensively, which is wild.
Right. Especially when
yeah.
Urshifu is still in the format.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, I don't want to be hit by Astral Barrage, and this is a panic option. Like, there's a lot of Terra Normal Rillabooms being like, okay, I'm gonna burn my Terra on this Bunky so that I can Woodhammer your horse. Like,
So with Astral Barrage, Icicle Spear, whatever the ice
Glacial
one
Lance?
is,
Glacial Lance.
yeah.
Icicle Spear, Glacial Lance, whatever.
Same thing.
Precipice Blades and Origin Pulse. Like, why are we gonna see an uptick in Wide Guard?
We absolutely are, and it's actually Pelipper is not a bad one at all now.
Yeah,
we're seeing a lot of the rain is not Kyogre, it's Pelipper, so you can run Calyrex Ice Rider or Shadow Rider teams too will run Scarf Urshifu, Water, and a Pelipper on there because you like Kyogre doesn't even get a single target water move anymore because they got rid of Skulls, right? So
you can like Terra Blast, I guess.
Yeah, so Pelipper hard walls Torn Ogre, which is hilarious because Bleak Wind. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff like that. I think you were saying that we mentioned that Groudon would be better than. I don't think I said this, but maybe, but prove me wrong. I'd be willing to.
Someone correct us in the comments. I think last episode or 2 episodes ago we were talking about how Groudon is the better Sunsetter than Koraidon.
So Koraidon's typing is rough. Like dragon fighting means you are quad weak to fairy, and Fluttermane exists. But at the same time, it's kind of a Terra Hog, but it wants to go Terra Fire anyway. And it's just consistency. Precipice Blades missing is absolutely awful when it doesn't do that much damage. It isn't weather boosted, and Groudon has to run Clear Amulet, so it's not item boosted either. And it can miss. Why would you ever run the spread attack that can miss when you can run several mons with a spread attack that doesn't miss?
Right.
Shadow Rider, Ice Rider, Turtle, and Kyogre to an extent because of Water Spout all are massively stronger spread moves that don't miss. Like
Origin Pulse can miss, right?
Origin Pulse can miss. Origin Pulse is the same as Precipice Blades.
Same as Precipice, yeah, okay.
But you at least have the chance to play towards Water Spout, and usually Origin Pulse is like, oh god, I'm gonna die. Time to like.
Or you're taking some hits, so you still have an option, so you don't lose all your damage.
Exactly.
Right.
I've actually been playing a good bit of Scarf Ogre, which has been really fun. That's I'll do Timid Terra Water Scarf Ogre and put it next to Farigiraf, so they can't take me out, they can't Grassy Glide me, and then I helping hand it.
Wow, so you're just like, I'm going fast, hitting hard.
Yeah, fast, hard, delete button, It's pretty one-dimensional. I don't think that's going to end up being my answer, but it has been fun.
It's good for ladder.
I mean, trade... switch in like
if there's a global challenge, I might try that, actually.
Ooh, that's actually good. But switch in
run Wide Guard
water pond.
On everything.
Yeah.
Or Wide Guard, yes, worse.
Yeah.
Why do you think me and Shao pop up again, too? Because that's something that always pops up in restricted formats is the me and Shao's.
So yeah, I think Koraidon actually has, at this point, seems to have cemented itself as the better Sunsetter.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's also kind of because it's running Clam, and it's a fighting type, so you can just see. A lot of people are actually running close combat over its signature move Collision Course just for the extra 20 base power.
20 base power, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
So it's 120 versus 100, but they really want to Oko that Incin, and I think it makes a difference against the Turtle too. Apparently Collision Course misses against the Turtle, but CC gets closer or even does it sometimes. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's cool. That makes sense. I figured with Turtle and with Shadow Rider pulling normal Terras defensively, that Koraidon gets better, right? Because obviously, like Urshifu is gonna not leave in the format. Urshifu is here to stay as well.
Yeah, and you put it next to a Fluttermane who now gets the speed boost and gets to Icy Wind next to you and still do damage.
Yeah. I really do like. I'm going to enjoy a Koraidon team to really pull in all of the Photosynthesis mons and have fun with it.
Yeah,
Walking
it's also
Wake,
making it. Yeah, so in that very tournament, Michael Derbesti, he came in third with a Walking Wake on his Koraidon team. This was a choice specs Walking Wake, which is just nutty damage when you think about the
I might just take this team and
weather
play
boosted,
with it.
Terra boosted, specs boosted, blah blah blah.
You get the Fluttermane,
get the real boosted potentially, but I've seen AV ones too, which is kind of funny because it's like that hard walls like Kyogre more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, good point.
AV Water Dragon
ones are pretty good.
Snarl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we're seeing like the Turtle is good, but it's a lot of them are not running the Combine that you'd think they would be because it's just
a lot of them were, weren't they?
I'm not. I haven't looked at the taste in this.
A lot of them are not running leftovers. Some of them aren't brand leftovers.
Yeah, there's a lot of
most of
Covert
them are
Cloak.
almost all the same set, pretty much. It's the
Okay,
set,
so in
my original set I ran too. It's just
yeah, actually in this
Hailstorm
tournament you're
and-
100% right. What I have seen popping up more on ladder especially has been Specs Turtle, which is really weird. It's kind of unintuitive, but
Yeah.
just because you just
The
keep
damage.
you don't die, you keep clicking the move, and you just consistently do spread damage that's neutral to everything. You can't switch on it, and then on top of that, you put it next to a speed booster Flutter who clicks fake tears.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
so
just- you're just choosing,
it's less
you're
of a
gone.
I kill you instantly and more of a just like you were.
I'm
it's
doing
oppressive.
lots of damage, and so whatever I have in the back is going to be able to clean up.
Exactly. Yeah. You
Yeah.
throw
Yeah.
a strong scarf cleanup or something in there, and suddenly you've got the game.
Huh.
Yeah.
But it looks like out of all the restricteds, it had the highest. Oh no, Rayquaza had the highest win percentage.
Yeah. Oh, I mean that's rough, right? Because there's only
Really?
2 people who played Rayquaza,
Yeah.
and they were both really
But
good players. who
Terrapagos
placed
had-
well,
Okay,
yeah.
sure.
Terrapagos had 15 and had the highest other than
Then
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza, yeah.
So I still think that's still going to be one of the things that, like Shadow Rider, of course, but between those two, that's going to be your big special attacking sweepers.
But yeah, right now Shadow Rider is the king. Ice Rider and Koraidon
Very
are probably
strong too. Yeah.
Ice Rider and Koraidon probably at the tier down. Kyogre is like straddling either that tier or the
Y'all,
tier below that
wait,
one.
Be careful. We're dangerously close to doing a tier list.
I might as well, right? Like, the restricted formats are probably the closest thing to a tier list you can do, right? Because they're very discreet. You've got to choose one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a fair point. Maybe we can actually do that for an
Yeah.
episode.
But
Very funny.
just a weird thing too with them too, though. I feel like you could make a case for a lot of them still, because like Kieran White is so strong.
There's a lot of them that I think we haven't figured out how to run
Yeah.
them yet.
I was
Or
gonna say this is gonna be a case of team building, right?
Yeah.
Like you have really
Yes.
good builders
100%.
come out.
And
of the
a
way.
lot of them
how
I
the-
think will do better in dual restricted formats.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah, we need. I like a dual restricted format personally better too. Just like you were saying, just a team building and just like I have to prepare for Shadow Rider. I know I'm going to see Shadow Rider. That is what people are going to pick.
Yeah, and it means that you can like. There are some matchups where one of your restricteds just doesn't work here, even though you really want to bring it because
Like,
it's restricted. It's
just
fine
maybe
because you can
Necrozma
still
or
bring one
something,
of
you
them,
know?
right? Yeah, yeah. I think that like Lunala is going to be way better in dual restricted. Even like Dustmane might actually be a Mon because Clear Amulet exists now, right? Like
Oh, good. True.
yeah, but it hard loses to Shadow Rider, so it's just
Yep.
garbage this format, right? But yeah, I think Miraidon was one that we thought was going to be really good, and it seems it's just not measuring up. It's just not enough.
I
But
was
think
curious, right?
it's going to benefit, I think, too, from
From dual restricted.
dual. Yeah.
So
'Cause right now, like it's not as fast as Shadow Rider. The mons it enables are cool, but like I'm sorry, bundle
Yeah.
and what's the other one people run with it? Fake Hydreigon.
Or Iron
goodness.
Hands. Yeah, Iron Hands too.
Iron Hand, and problem is Iron Hand shares the electric typing too, so you've got that awkward overlap
That's
there.
what I was curious about too. Is Iron Hands.
It's God, what is the Paradox Hydreigon?
Jugulus.
Jugulus, that's the one. Yeah, so like Jugulus and Bundle are going next to Miraidon a lot. Great, but that is not Flutter Mane. That is not Raging Bolt. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really feel like especially the way that we've seen over the last several.
Future just got absolutely screwed in every. I
Yeah.
thought that Miraidon was going to be like the karma for that one, but no. Scarlet really won out.
Right.
I really wanted to see how once Miraidon is here, how they would perform, and it's really sad to see that
it's a singles mon, I
sad.
think, is the answer there.
sure.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be.
Well, and you got to think too, like, if all of a sudden Miraidon's like the meta, that's when all of a sudden Groudon is going to be king again, because
Yeah, if it doesn't miss.
if you don't miss.
And so, cool thing,
That's
and
true.
kind of what makes them deceptively strong is both Miraidon and Koraidon. Their abilities are Drought and Electric Pulse or whatever, respectively,
Electric terrain.
with fancy
Ori
names.
Chalcum. Ori
Yeah.
Chalcum Pulse. Is that what it was?
Orichalcum,
Oh.
I think, yeah. But it's there's a thing in there also that with their stats their special attack and attack respectively are boosted.
It's almost like a 1.3, right?
Yeah,
a life
it's literally photosynthesis that they set for themselves, but it isn't the highest stat. It's always their attacking stat. So
That's cool.
like they are way strong. They effectively get the free life orb on there, which is really cool.
Mhm.
and that makes them a lot stronger. But I had a point with this one. It's just that I cannot see Groudon being like it just can't compete with that. I'm sorry, it has to run Clam.
No, I agree.
It just gets OHKO'd by the Flare Blitz. Like, it's actually wild.
Huh.
Like Groudon's is physically tanky as a Torkoal. I think more so because it has better HP, and it still dies to the competition Flare Blitz. So
I'm
saying some of them, like,
saddened by that.
The best performing Koraidon instead of Flare Blitz is running Flame Charge.
Yeah, because instead of I've seen both. I've seen fight either CC or Collision Course, Flare Blitz, Flame Charge, Protect. Some people run Bulk Up though, which is interesting.
I kind of like that. Like, well, that's how we used to run Groudon too. You know, you run the Bulk Up set.
Yeah. And now that you have Clam, they can't undo your Bulk Ups.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, and for that reason, Incineroar it's still Incineroar. It's still really good. It's never gonna be bad. Blah blah blah. But like, it's not as
only one thing can hold Clear Amulet, right?
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, it's the restricted, and that's what you have to slow down.
Yep.
True. That's also a fair point.
So like, every Incineroar is now running knockoff. It's like almost non-optional.
Yep.
But B, yeah, like Incineroar is not nearly as influential, I think, as this is the like the first time that I think you can like really justify another fire type if you really wanted to. Like I've seen a lot of Entei running around because it can't be faked out. It's got potential burns on Sacred Fire.
Yeah,
like
burns is the way you take care of that physical attacker with
unless they go Terrafire.
Unless they go Terrafire.
Groudon and Koraidon both always go Terrafire. I've seen a lot of Terrafire Ice Rider now, even like.
Interesting. But if we're taking this Honolulu challenge seriously, Incineroar has 70% usage.
Yeah, it's still very good.
It's still influential, right?
Like, just because you can't intimidate the restricted, you can still do a lot of other things. Like, your Shadow Rider.
A lot of utility on that.
If you run Snarl on Incineroar, that's gonna 2-hit KO any Shadow Rider.
I'm actually not sure about that.
Does it?
It does.
I was running Snarl Umbreon and it missed.
Really?
KO, yeah.
Really?
Now maybe that Shadow Rider ran some bulk. I know that some of them because they have nasty plot. So if you're not running Sash, it actually there is if you put a decent amount of HP, but not that much. This like you have to like Shadow Rider actually has it's not Flutter Mane. It has pretty solid bulk. Like
I thought
special,
it was real.
Special bulk.
But not bad physical. Like if you give it like just a little bit of HP, it can live a Terra Water Surging Strikes from a Scar Urshifu. Like
really?
Shadow really?
I think it's like it's not a not insignificant amount, but like if you're running a nasty plot to set up, then potentially worse.
You need the bulk.
Yeah, well, how much was it? 132 HP and 36 defense was the spread I was playing with.
To it.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's like
which that lives an adamant 252 Terra Water Surging Strikes.
Wait,
I think most of the ones I was seeing were all like Sash.
Yeah,
so they're just going straight 252. So I mean,
but that dies to Surging Strikes, right? So
I guess okay. It does have more physical defense than Flutter. It's got 100 HP.
100 HP and 80 defense is really respectable bulk. That's for non-restricted at least. Like that's there are plenty of mons with those stats that just run a bulky support set. Like
yeah.
I mean, we were able to give Flutter Mane enough bulk to live a lot of things that should never live. So
good point. That's a fair point. And we're looking at almost double those stats for Flutter. So yeah,
it's just figuring out. And I mean, when I was doing a lot of my play, and it was so early in the format too. It's like I'm not putting anything into spreads or anything right now. It's just
we are still on day -7. So like
yeah, that's a good point. We're still like the regulations
are going to change. Yeah, it's going to be. I think we're going to get some swings in this format.
Yeah, Indianapolis is going to be really fun to watch. I think that'll be the starting point for NAIC prep, and then you got to see like what's and then you use results of Los Angeles to see like is what I built actually good, or is it about to be curb stomped? Like
what's just like looking through this? Like things like Lunala are going to be so much better in a GS Cup with the two restricted. Than if you have to force it and say this is my ace kind of thing.
I think it's strong. Like, Ice Rider is so good even as single restricted, and I think it's going to get better in double restricted.
Oh yeah. Ice Rider like this.
That is just the case for Trick Room restricted in general. I think
well, Ice Rider and Shadow Rider are both going to be so good the entire rest of the life of this game. Like,
how did they get away with no nerfs? Glacial Lance even got nerfed. How did Shadow Rider get away with no nerfs?
I don't know. They forgot. Let's be real. They literally ran out of time and forgot. Like,
Yeah,
They
maybe.
didn't forget to nerf Zamazenta, so like,
yeah. Why they had to
What
nerf
was-
poor like I feel so bad for Zacian. It did not need
yeah,
this nerf.
my poor dog got just taken out
Like
back.
even
It
one
did not need
like
it.
that gets out there and like you don't intimidate, it's still not as
Like-
scary as it was in a Dynamax
they
format.
literally
It got enough of a
colored-
nerf by taking away Dynamax. Yeah.
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 What was the Glacial Lance?
It just lost base power.
Was it just base power?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Zacian could have done with one or the other nerf, like either rework Intrepid Sword or nerf its stats. Do not do both. What is happening?
I don't think they should have nerfed Intrepid Sword. I think they should have kept it how it was.
Yeah,
I
if
think
they
every
wanted to
time
lower
it
the
comes on
base
the
stats
battlefield,
and let it still have the +1,
Yeah.
that would have been perfectly fine. Like,
yeah,
I
I could be fine with that.
I think that originalization still wouldn't have been busted in this format. I think he would have just been
No.
another top tier restricted. Like,
yeah. No, are you that broken when everything else around you
it's
is
also
super
insanely
broken,
broken. Yeah,
too? Yeah,
yeah.
because you got to think because you got both the Calyrexes, you got Terrapagos, you got the Box Legends, Koraidon and Miraidon. They're all strong. You got Kyogre still.
Hey, Astral.
Yeah, because physical attackers are generally at a disadvantage. I mean, Precipice Blades is stronger than Origin Pulse too, for what
Yeah.
it's worth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's because
Huh.
I mean,
You can intimidate it.
They can be intimidated, which means they now have to run. Even with Clear Amulet, it means you don't get an item anymore, right? Kyogre gets the privilege of running Scarf or Mystic Water. Groudon is just stuck with that item.
Okay, wait. So what you just said is you just gave Game Freak some props for thinking about something for balancing this game. Just saying.
They just didn't think about everything.
They have had thoughts before. I'll give you that.
Yes.
There
Okay.
have been times where thoughts passed through their heads for sure.
Okay,
But-
we'll give them that.
It's better than when Sword and Shield came out and our nerfs were to Aegislash.
Yeah, okay, that was a bad
That's
end.
what we were worried about. That was definitely.
I love my
Real
Sword
impact.
and Shield. Why did he get nerfed? Yeah, whatever.
In the same
Um,
format where it just couldn't really use Dynamax at all.
It would have
like-
never seen the light of day even without the,
Yeah.
the nerf, you know.
Poor little dude.
So do you think
But yeah.
Grimmsnarl is still going to be?
Yes,
Out there.
I think Grimmsnarl is going to be back with a vengeance. I've actually been playing it with Ice Rider. Because you know
Really?
what makes insanely
so
bulky
good.
horse better
Yeah.
is screens and
There's
intimidate.
more bulk. Yeah.
It's good. And it's good with all the restricted. Like you get
Grimmsnarl,
restricted.
Amoonguss, Calyrex, Ice Rider. It's
Yes.
like it's very much protect the king. I'm setting up screens. I'm healing with pollen buff. I'm baking out and party shotting and just clicking Glacial Lance. Like
Wow.
I need to pull up a team. I was just messing around, like building teams, and there was one. I was like, "This is Sword and Shield all over again." I had Solgaleo. I started at looking at things. I was like, "Oh, Solgaleo. You know, it's got that full metal body, good ability." It's like, weakness policy. Let's give it that. Give me my Spectrier with Bulldoze. Then after that was just the Sword and Shield special: Grimmsnarl, Incineroar, Rapid Strike, Urshifu, and Rillaboom. Like
yeah,
those four you can put on about any team right now.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
possible.
Grimmsnarl, Incineroar, Urshifu, and Rillaboom, and that is such a. Or you could do Amoonguss over Rillaboom if
yeah.
for your grass
Amoonguss
type.
is.
I thought you were
becoming
gonna say
king right
Amoonguss.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Grimmsnarl needs to be on the right team. Personally, but I could be wrong about it. It doesn't work well on like really hyper offensive stuff. But if you have
No.
any bulk to your team, then yeah, then it's
I said
pretty
bulk and
good.
setup, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which most things usually you end up going towards bulk as the season progresses. So
Sure.
like I mean, if Zacian didn't get a nerf, like that would be fit so well into that kind of core.
Screen option was very real. And it
Yeah.
it's not dead yet, but it's probably dead.
But
Well, you can run Swords Dance.
Here.
You can run Swords Dance, yeah, and I've seen it on with a lot of Pelipper or Urshifu Rapid as well.
It's still strong. It's not weak.
Fire Howl, yeah. That's the thing with every restricted now. I think is like there are S tiers. If you are not playing one of the top tier restricteds, you are at best making life harder for yourself than it needs to be.
You're making your life hard, and you need that it needs to be fulfilling a
You
purpose.
need to have a
Yeah.
plan into whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
That's
it-
actually
Because that's
talking-
why it's so hard with like the Curums and stuff, because they're big beat sticks is all they are. They're just stats.
yeah.
Right.
Now, granted, those stats are high and
Very high. Like 170.
Curum Black gets Clam, Curum White gets Snow Boost now, so like
Yeah.
they're real, but they're not. They're never
Yeah.
winning a tournament. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'll eat a hat if
In
one of
this
those
format.
wins a regional. yeah,
Now let's
yeah,
get to
in
the
Don't
NG,
restricted.
make
NG
promises.
at least we'll see.
So, do we want to do any specific breakdowns on some of the teams on this challenge?
So
Or...
I guess we could talk. The elephant in the room is Wolfies, right? And it sounds basic, but it is pretty cool. So like Shadow Rider, you have to tech for all these counters to yourself, but you also tech for the mirror because fact is you're going to play a lot of other Calyrex shadows. So the cool thing he did was so Focus Sash is already a pretty good check for the mirror, right? But it isn't the end all be all. Every team has priority. He doesn't have a Fari, so like what do you do there? The cool thing is that Helping Hand on Clefairy actually lets a Terra. So if you have Terra Ghost and Helping Hand, you will Oko an opposing Shadow Rider who Terras to be neutral to Astral Barrage. So you have the Sash, you will always live opposing Astral Barrage, and then you Helping Hand Terra Astral and kill theirs, and then you win. I thought that was like simple but really clever. Like that is a really good early format kind of answer.
It's like you were talking with Scarf Kyogre. It's just you press a button, 2 buttons, and things blow up.
Yeah, so the whole format is around like putting yourself in the position where you can click those 2 buttons, right? Like it seems kind of skillless, but the fact is your opponent can also do it. So like,
well, it's all about position, like you just said.
Exactly.
It's all position.
It's just super punishing because if you mess up,
you get out of position and it's game over.
Yeah, exactly.
It almost feels like back in Sword and Shield format though, because that's what we were used to. You get trapped into a wrong lead or something in Sword and Shield, and all of a sudden you're getting hit with huge base power moves.
Yep. The other thing that's cool here, and I think that it happens in a lot of other teams too, is that Incineroar is running no Flare Blitz. Its only attacking move is knockoff, and then it has Wisp in place of the Flare Blitz. Wisp is just so valuable because Clam is everywhere.
Yep.
Right.
So now your Incineroar can burn things, and it goes Terra Water, so it can tank it's just a solid defensive typing. But the real thing there is for Ice Rider. You go water, you resist Glacial Lance, you Wisp it at the end. And if it is Terrafire, then he also has Energy Fu Water, right? So that's all around pretty good.
And you don't get hit by like the high horsepower from it too.
Yeah, also that high horsepower is pretty big on Ice Rider. So I mean, and then the final thing is after you on Clef is actually really, really cute too, because Clefairy can go slower than Ice Rider can.
It has after you.
Yeah, so you click after you, and then suddenly you're still clicking Astral Barrage for time to trigger him. So
I see. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So like nothing like groundbreaking, but he recognized like what was going to work in this early meta really well, and he outplayed some really good players, right? So the end of the day, I took a look at the Patreon post, and he was like going over the spreads and anything that wasn't 252, he was like, I don't know what this does. It lived hits. That was good. Like he just vibed his way to
It's too early format, so you don't know.
I mean, there's you could do like basic calcs. I don't know. Like anyway, he very much just vibed his way to a free Honolulu trip, despite being a YouTube millionaire. So like,
I mean, that's pretty much how I've done my spread so far for this. Like, this is how I ran it before. So
does it still work?
Yeah,
it does.
Oh,
I mean, all the monsters that were legal before are still legal, so at least those calcs mean something, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I thought that Geodis, I forget. I know this. I know the tag. I'm forgetting their real name.
Oh, Geodis.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, from Switzerland. Yeah, but I don't remember.
It's a rain team, and I'm excited.
Yeah, so Kyogre is really cool. Kyogre enabling Archaludon also pretty cool. Arch gets a real rain setter next to it.
I like this.
And then Chen Power Scar for Urshifu also just really well enabled there, right? Like the Ice type loves the rain. The Chen Pao enables the Urshifu, who also loves the rain. Terra Grass everywhere because Amoonguss is pain. And
this is literally
does damage. Yeah,
just took out the Pelipper, put in a Kyogre. Like,
yeah, honestly, which you'll catch me on ladder running this in Showdown. Like
for sure. Yeah,
it was right up my alley. After Orlando, I really like Archaludon more than I already did.
Yeah, I may be on that train. I was running a lot of Baxcalibur as my Dragon type on that. Just because no one wants to bring Incineroar into the Kyogre matchup, or if they do, they're like very, very careful with it. And it's like, so I get to run loaded dice, and then Icicle Spear kills Rillaboom. Let's tell you that. Like,
I mean, you probably almost kill a Rillaboom with a Terra Water spout.
Not if they're AV, but yeah, it's the damage is absolutely insane. You do 2-hit KO resist. Sometimes you OHKO resist.
It's like Shadow Rider. Like I've had an Incineroar in front of Shadow Rider. Like, oh yeah, I'm cool, I'm good. Ends up being like a spec Shadow Rider that Terra Ghost is like 3/4 HP of my Incineroar that has a lot of special bulk. I'm like, what do I do? I can't do anything. There's no safe.
So right now Urshifu, if you give it max speed adamant, it just outspeeds Calyrex Shadow with a Choice Scarf. So almost all of them are running adamant 2v2 speed.
That's
Kyogre with a Scarf needs to be timid to outspeed Calyrex Shadow. So you might as well go 2 points faster than that and outspeed adamant Scarf Urshifu. And then Terra Water Timid Water Spout with a Helping Hand from a Farigiraf will just OHKO a Water Urshifu resisted. Like, you just have enough multipliers and the thing doesn't have great special bulk, and restrictions are just like, I don't care about type matchups. I just still kill you. Like,
right. I have numbers behind this. I don't need type.
Yeah, it is just raw numbers.
It's a stat check. Like, that's... Do you have the stats to keep up or not?
It was the same way Palafin was killing resisted things with Terra Water Wave Crash. Like,
Right.
It was a restricted BST in a regional dex format. Like,
it was like 600 and something after.
I think it was
transformed.
So you're telling me there's a chance Palafin can come back?
Nope.
No, not at all. Oh man.
I mean, you can make anything work once. Right?
Yeah, that's the best of 3 is a different story.
Palafin is firmly YouTube content right now.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's very true.
You would think though, like, gosh, we needed Incineroar. Imagine if we had Incineroar during the Palafin, so you had the pivot. Like, we didn't even have good pivots during the Palafin time.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Hands was the best sort of option to go with it for pretty much every team, I think. So. Interesting. Anything else on early Reg G? Super early Reg G. Alpha released.
Yeah,
Reg G.
no, I think that's pretty much my thoughts on it at this point. Some restrictions are better than we thought. Some are way worse, and suddenly Rayquaza out of nowhere. But I think that might have just been told.
I figured Rayquaza would be somewhat good, just because sometimes that just gets people. That just Terra Normal extreme speed, super damage.
A lot of people don't respect priority, and you know it wants to be Terra Normal anyway, which means free resist to Calyrex Shadow, and then otherwise it's Dragon, which means it resists Fire, Water, Grass. So like, it can't be too bad.
I was surprised Wolfie was running Psychic over Psy Shock on his Calyrex too.
Yeah, that one's interesting. I feel like you want Psy Shock for the turtle.
Because in the turtle, like if you don't have Psyshock, like you're having a hard time against once it gets set up.
The turtle, you just need to close combat it and pray kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just keep clicking close combat against it.
But Wolfie's a good enough player though. Like, you give a good player just a solid, straightforward team, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a fair point, right? Like there's definitely credit to the pilot of the team, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that is Regulation G. Y'all listening, what restricteds are you playing or excited to try out for Regulation G? Looking forward to playing. Let us know in the comments down below. Have y'all been playing anything else?
Honestly, no. I did pull up. I got bored and started Baldur's Gate playthrough number 5 or 6 or something stupid. I never did one of the working characters, but yeah, no, not seriously. There's a lot of games on the list, but
on the backlog,
there's always
that never goes down.
Very, very long.
It's the backlog is a Hydra. I take one off, and then 2 more at least take its place. So Saturday, I said we said earlier in the episode, like, hey, I just forgot everything existed on Saturday. Because I accomplished 2 things on Saturday, as in this TV show, which was very good. Which, have you all started at all?
Not started.
All right. Maybe in another episode we can talk about that.
That's another backlog. That's like, I have so many things I have to watch and I don't have time.
It's only 8 1-hour-long episodes. Come on.
Oh, yes. Maybe I'll watch it while I'm at work. Maybe I'll do that.
We finished that over the weekend. I think I said last week, but I played a lot more over this past week. I've been playing Stardew Valley. So I haven't done a serious playthrough of that since like 2017, 2018. So with the 2 big updates that came out in the last like year or 2, I'm excited to play through that. We'll see how far I get this time, but it'll be very exciting. And then the other thing was we talked about anime a lot last week, I mean. But we watched the Spy Family movie, which was extremely cute if you like Spy Family, which is a very good anime, one of our
Very
favorites.
nice.
Yeah, that was my whole Saturday. It's just very lovely.
Sounds like a great Saturday.
But that's pretty much all I've been playing is Stardew Valley. So that's where I sit in video
It's
games
cozy
right now.
though. Cozy games are good sometimes. I like a good cozy game.
Yeah. I really need the cozy game. Because before, what was the game we were playing? A lot of Helldivers. That's not cozy. Oh,
No,
it's a different.
not cozy at all. It is
it's a
the total
different kind of
opposite of cozy.
You can find cozy in that. Shooting
Yeah,
some
I
bugs.
guess. Yeah.
Which we
I
need
guess
to
you can.
play. I pinged you guys.
Well-
You said no.
You didn't ping at all. You just I saw the message like way later. Like it's just with no notifications.
Yeah, I was out.
Yeah.
Eating and drinking and
Like I don't check Discord every hour on the weekends.
I will ping you guys then. We should do
Do the
that,
pings.
and then post it to the channel because that'd be really funny. Just to see us. It would not be cricket tuned out. It will probably be explicit, but that's a whole other thing we'll talk about later if we do that. Yeah, so nothing on Rowan Sheldon, any of the games or anything else fun
not
to talk
really
about?
games. I've been weaving out, trying to.
We've been out.
Yeah. Well,
I love that as a verb.
you mentioned what was it? I was reincarnated
lovely.
as a slime.
Oh,
The last time we talked, and I started
yeah.
that. It's amazing because
Started reading it or watching it?
watching it,
Okay, yeah.
but because I love that whole concept, for like what's another one like Overlord,
Isekai.
Isekai, yeah,
Yeah, so
it's a good one.
Isekai,
Though.
that whole genre is good. Yeah, Slime is one of my favorite animes. It's very, very good.
Oh, it's so good.
And the new season just started, which I need to watch.
I'm working my way there.
Fantastic.
I've been keeping up with. We talked about solo leveling in the
Yes.
chat. It's good if you haven't seen it yet. I like it a lot.
Solo leveling, very good. I really enjoy the fact that like some Korean manhwas are getting some limelight in the anime world too, right?
Yeah.
Like getting Crunchyroll, whatever, right? So that's very good. It's very fun.
And so is I wish it came out more, but that Kaiju number 8. I just hate it's the weekly thing. You have to wait a week.
Sure. I mean, that's all of Crunchyroll is. All of
But
anime is that.
But I think it's going to be good.
Mhm.
As we go here.
Very good.
That am I watching anything else? Not really.
All right.
Ready
Well,
for My Hero Academia comes out.
That's
I've just been reading that one. It is pretty wild. Like
Yeah.
the last arc is going to be very fun.
Yeah.
I haven't been reading it because I want to watch it because that's what I've done for most of that series, all of that series. But it'll be. I know there's a lot of random stuff that happens in the end, and it's cool. It's like finishing up, right? Like we're at
that's
the
been
end
the vibe
game.
for like a year now. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
of course.
it's like the final war arc of Naruto
Yeah.
if we're going, since it's kind of
Sure.
got that whole,
Yeah, 100% that vibe. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
sort of love that one.
But I've also been playing while I watch some anime, just through Sword and Shield again,
Oh, really?
just to go so I can go do some more Dynamax adventures on a fresh profile.
Yeah, can you
Catch some of the
farm
legends.
all the legendaries for us for the whole group, please? That'd be lovely.
Sure.
He says with confidence.
If
Yeah, I thought it
if I
was
make it there, I don't know. I just like I'll start it. But I will say, it's refreshing playing it, especially Dynamax, like the dens compared to Terra raids.
Oh,
The
sure.
raids in Sword and Shield are so much
Trash.
better.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Sword and Shield is good.
Sword and Shield is
Sword
so
and
much
Violet- Sword
better.
and Violet trash.
It's so nice just to hop in and it's over in like 30 seconds. Like,
Yeah,
it's
the
amazing.
shield mechanic really sucks. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So cool. Is that it? Is that an episode? Are we gonna cut it a little short? I'm fine with that.
I think so too.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
it's a pretty quiet week.
It's a quiet week for Pokemon stuff. We need to play other games. But in the beginning, I committed to playing more or playing any Regulation G. So that's what we're talking about next week, probably. Oh, actually, hold on. Back up. The day this comes out is NAIC registration, Wave 1.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you're watching this and we're
Remember
your
to
sole
pre-register,
source,
go to the site where you pre-registered, pay, and then get redirected to Arcanine where you can actually register for real this time.
yeah, it's so upsetting. I mean, I don't think
Follow
that's
the flowchart.
exactly.
It's on Twitter. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's certainly not confusing at all.
Yeah, this
The
is
registration that actually matters, though, is the one on Rain Focus or whatever it is, whatever the new thing is. Go find that.
I'm just
If
ready
you
for
have
it
any-
not to work. I'm just ready for everything to
I'm
break.
so scared of that.
If things are
Yeah.
gonna break, yeah, like you're gonna, yeah, it's. I feel like it's
That's
gonna be.
why they have 2 waves, so they can mess it up Thursday evening and then do it Friday morning. Anyway, time frame wise, it's Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 Central, and what is that? 5 p.m.
Pacific,
Pacific, the other one.
California time.
Yeah, thems. So there's that, and then 11 a.m. Eastern on Friday morning. Ooh, don't quote me on that one. But hopefully we get in Thursday, so it'll be fine. So if you're trying to get in, be prepared. Let us know if you do, and if you have any questions when this comes out between now and registration, come in Discord and ping us, and then we will do our best to help you maybe. Not because we don't want to, just because we might not see it at work. So there's that. But yeah, I think excuse me. I'm sorry. I think that covers everything that I could possibly think of to talk about. So, on that note, I have been Harrison. You can find me online at row_ixon and pretty much all the things, and this is all I do. Rowan, who are you?
I'm Rowan, and same.
You can also find Rowan
That's
at
a very depressing statement. This is all I do.
And this is all.
Okay, this is all I do content-wise. I make some Twitter posts that are fine. I have not done my own YouTube or Twitch in a long time. I want to. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking real hard about it. That's a whole other story.
Same.
Wow, that's okay. That just went downhill. Like take the vibe of the episode and kill it right at the end. Together, however, we are stronger together than our individual parts, and we have been the Game Corner. You can find us at Game Corner VGC, Game Corner something. Oh gosh, I never remember this. Game Corner VGC. You'll find us. Or the Game Corner. And most importantly, all of the stuff is down below. We'd like to say thank you to Rob KTA for the use of our theme song Goldenrod Game Corner off the Ultra Ball album. And I think that's everything. So, no matter what you play, until next time, press start and game on.